सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. We have completed the 17th chapter in the previous class, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogam. Today we will take up the 18th chapter, MokshaSanyasaYoga. Before that, we will just go through the introduction of this chapter. Arjuna, he wanted to avoid the war on seeing his grandfather and Guru, though he was ready to fight for the dharma, but he was totally deluded when he was faced with Guru and the grandfather whom he loves the most. So he wanted to give up the war. So in that case, he surrendered to God, Krishna Paramatma, and sought the knowledge so that he can get the best. So Paramatma started his teaching from the second chapter, 11th sloka. Asochan anvasochastvam prajna vadamsya bhashase gatasun agatasunscha nanu sochanti panditaha. So this was the sloka. From this sloka onwards, Paramatma gave a wonderful teaching, so that that teaching is very relevant even today and the years hereafter. It is the truth for the time immemorial. And Paramatma became Jagadguru. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. This very change is the seed for Bhagavad Gita. So, while he was giving this Gita Bodha, Paramatma took up a scheme. In the second chapter, he gave the entire Bhagavad Gita in a capsule form. And that is called Samkshema, Upakrama, Upasamhara. That is what we say, Upakrama Samkshema. That is the entire topic in a very condensed manner. He gave it in the second chapter. Then from the third chapter up to 17th chapter, he gave the explanation in a detailed manner. Vistaraha. Samkshipta Vistara. Then the 18th chapter, which is Upasamharam, the concluding chapter, again he gave the entire gist of Bhagavad Gita in Samkshepa style. So the brief explanation and again brief, something like a news reading. The news reading style is, in the beginning they give the entire news in few sentences, and they elaborate that, and again present that news in a condensed manner. This is the style which Paramatma adopted long ago. So Upakrama Samkshepaha is given in Adhyayam. In chapter 2, he adopted the introduction of the entire Bhagavad Gita in a capsule form. Vistara, the elaborate way, from chapter 3rd up to 17. And the conclusion, Upasamhara, again in Samkshepa style, in the 18th chapter. This is how Paramatma adopted to present the entire Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, it can be schematically thought of as three different portions. First Shatkam, second Shatkam, third Shatkam. So the themes, they vary in three different ways. The entire Bhagavad Gita presents three themes, Shatkam wise. So the first theme Bhagavad Gita presents is Sadhanatraya Vicharaha. Three different types of sadhanas, and how a spiritual sadhaka can practice different sadhanas. This is mentioned in different shatkas. the first sadhana, that is Karma Yoga sadhana, is given in Shatkam 1. This Karma Yoga sadhana is for Chitta Suddhi, for purification of the mind. That is doing action for the sake of God, dedicating it to God, you take up the work. And then the result, you accept whether it is in favor of you or not in favor of you, you accept it as karma phala yogam, karma phalam. Karma phalam is prasada siddhi, prasada buddhi. Bhagavan is giving you the karma phalam. Therefore, I don't brood, even if it is not in my favor. So this is the upasana sadhana. This is what we say karma yogam. This karma yoga is meant for chitta suddhi, and this is mentioned in first shatkam. Then second shatkam deals with upasana sadhana for chitta ekagrata, one-pointed concentration, the focused mind, which is useful to understand the subject thoroughly. Both are required to understand the subject. Chitta Suddhi and Chitta Ekagrata are required. This is achieved by Shatkam 1 and Shatkam 2. And the third Shatkam, the final Shatkam, this deals with Jnana Yoga Sadhana, how to understand the Atma Vidya that is mentioned in Shatkam 3. So this way, all the three Shatkams, they give you three different sadhanas: Karma Yogam, Upasana Yogam, and Jnana Yogam. Then if you look at this, in Mahavakya Vicharana is also given in these three Shatkams. The first Shatkam deals with Tvampada Vicharana. That means what is the real nature of Jiva is given in the first Shatkam. Then the second Shatkam deals with Tatpada Vicharana. That means what is the real nature of Ishvara. Then the third one is Asipada Vicharana. The third and the final version is Asi. Asi means the Aikyam, the union of both, is mentioned in the last Shatkam. Then there is yet one more theme that is presented in Bhagavad Gita Shatkam wise, that is called Ghataka Traya Vicharaha. If you want to achieve success in your life, you have to have the following factors. Ghataka means factor. First one is you should have Manava Prayatnam, the endeavor. There should be some effort from the Jiva side. Without effort, nothing can be achieved. So, this is what we call in Vedanta free will. So, you have to exercise free will to achieve the target. So, first one, the first Shatkam deals with Prayatnam or free will or the human effort. Then the second Shatkam deals with the grace of Ishvara. It is not simply that you put an effort, you will not get the success. Your effort must be associated or assisted or coupled with Ishvara Anugraham. If and only if you have Ishvara Anugraham, your effort will yield good result. So the grace of Ishvara is equally important. So the second Shatkam deals with Prasada Buddhi or Prasadam, Ishvara Anugraham. So you need the grace of Ishvara. So you seek the Ishvara's grace along with the effort you make. Then the third one is Sadgunas. Sadgunas means you should have the right attitude and right behavior, and the Sadgunas, all good values, good behavior. This is what we call value system. The sadhaka must have good value system. So this is mentioned in 13th chapter and 16th chapter and the various other chapters also mention these values. So, in total, the Ghataka Traya deals with Prayatnam, Prasadam, and Sadgunas in first, second, and third Shatkas, respectively. So, this is what Paramatma gave in the entire Bhagavad Gita schematically. So, we have the chapter, we try to understand the chapter 18 with this background. The introduction is from sloka number 1 up to 12. Paramatma dealt with Satvika Sanyasa Yogam. Satvik Sanyasa Yogam is dealt from sloka number 1 up to 12. So, Krishna Paramatma, though he mentioned very elaborately, Arjuna, still his mind is not fixed. Somehow he wants to avoid the war. So as a last chance, he wanted to pose one more question so that he can get the answer he is seeking, so that he can run away from the war. So based on this Arjuna's question, the entire chapter is developed. In fact, Arjuna never wanted to take up renunciation when he was in the forest. That is the right place, and the ambience is fit enough to take the renunciation. When he was in forest, he wanted to fight for dharma, get back the kingdom he lost. So he planned and he made a list with all the friendly countries, with all friendly kings, and he pulled up a lot of army in favor of him. But when he faced the war, when he was in the middle of the war field, on seeing his guru and his grandfather, he lost the sense of dharma. He is totally deluded. He wanted to avoid the war. So he wanted to run away from the war. So he sought the suggestion from Krishna Paramatma. So this is the brief background. Though he wanted the suggestion, but Paramatma is not giving a favorable suggestion. So on and on he is posing questions, so that in one way or other, Paramatma will ratify his idea. This is the mindset of Arjuna. By posing various questions, at least Paramatma in one way or other agree for his renunciation. That is the mindset Arjuna is possessing. Swamiji says that people come to him and seek suggestions, not for getting any suggestion from Swamiji. They seek suggestion in order to ratify their already predefined solution. So in order to see that Swamiji approves their decision, they keep on posing different questions. When Swamiji gives slightly a suggestion which is closer to their idea, they stop posing questions. They say, "Thank you, Swamiji, you gave a good suggestion." Like that, they conclude the topic and then they leave. So they will not allow Swamiji to talk anything. They only concluded and they came to the conclusion and they want to get it ratified by Swamiji. This is the mindset even Arjuna is having now. So with this mindset, Arjuna is posing a question. So we'll see what is that question. So already Krishna Paramatma mentioned about sannyasam in the 6th chapter. Sri Bhagavan Buvacha Anasrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yaha Sa Sanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragninna Chakriyaha Yam Sanyasamiti Prahuhu Yogam Tam Vidhi Pandava Nahi Sanyasya Sankalpo Yogi Bhavati Kaschana. So, already in the 6th chapter, Paramatma mentioned by simply wearing akaropes, the saffron robes, one cannot become a sannyasi. So, even a gruhastu is a great sannyasi if he has, that renunciation in the mind. The mental renunciation is the most important factor for sannyasi or gruhastu jnani. So, unless and until you achieve that mental sannyasam, the manasika sannyasam, there is no point in wearing the saffron robes. People take up sannyasam and wear saffron robes. Yet, there is samsara in the mind. They keep on doing some activity which a gruhastha is doing. So, there is no point simply wearing sannyasam and not renouncing mentally. The mental renunciation is the most important factor for sannyasam. So, this is what Paramatma already mentioned in chapter 6. He said, in fact, a gruhastha is much, much better than a sannyasi because a gruhastha is in the labyrinth of several problems. In spite of those problems, he can be free mentally. He can have the mental renunciation. So, in that aspect, a gruhastu jnani is much superior to a sannyasi who is wearing saffron robes. So, this is what Paramatma already mentioned in 6th chapter. Now, the same thing Arjuna is asking, and now we will see what is the Paramatma's reply. Arjuna uvacha sanyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum tyagasya sarushikesa prudakkesi nishudanaha sanyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami veditum tyagasya sarushikesa prudakkesi nishudana. He Mahabaho, he Kesi, Nishudana, Rishikesa, Aham, Sanyasasya, Tyagasya cha, Tattvam Prudak Veditum Ichhami. So, he Mahabaho, he Krishna, he Antaryami, Vasudeva, I want to know the real meaning of sannyasam and also the real meaning of tyaga, renunciation. So, I want to see I want to distinctly know the difference between tyaga and sannyasam. So, Arjuna is posing this question. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna posed a question. Mahabaho, great valor. Mahabaho means one who is having a powerful shoulders. Powerful shoulders is an indication that he is a great valor. Sanyasasya tattvam veditum ichhami. So I want to know the actual meaning of sannyasam. So its importance and the derivative, so that I can understand the difference between sannyasam and tyagam. So the word sannyasam has come with the combination of three words. Sam, ni plus us. Sam plus ni plus us. This as dhatu is the root for this. Asyati means to renounce. Sam and ni are the prefixes for as dhatu. So, it is sam means samyak, completely, without keeping anything. You have to renounce. That is what we call sannyasi. Sannyasam. That is what we call sannyasam. That means you have to renounce your family. You have to renounce your bank balance. You should not have any property. You should not have any association with the society. So, totally you are renounced. That kind of living is called a sannyasam. Some sannyasis, they renounce everything, but they keep the degrees. So and so sannyasi with, now after the name, they keep a MA degree or MSc degree like that. Or they keep the titles. If somebody gives a title, they put the title also. So Padma Shri, like that they keep the title, which is not a total renunciation. So when you are renouncing, you should not add anything. So this is the idea. So sannyasam is a one-way traffic. You cannot go back to the Grihastha ashram. Once you take up sannyasam, that is the one-way traffic. So keeping that in mind, one should take up sannyasam. So when you are in the when you are in Grihastha ashramam, there are certain rules. You can have responsibilities. You can have the daily puja, all pancha mahayajnas you have to perform. All these things are there. When you are in sannyasa ashramam, you have to leave certain things. So we will see what are the things you have to leave. Hrishikesa. So Arjuna is addressing Paramatma as Hrishikesa. Hrishika means all indriyas. Isha means he is the Lord of all indriyas. In Kenopanishad, Bhagavan is defined as he is the ear of the ear and he is the mind of the mind. Like that, the definition of God is given. Srotrasya srotram, manaso manaha. Like that, in Kenopanishad, we have defined Bhagavan as the mind behind mind, the ear behind the ears, like that. So same thing we can take here also. Hrishikesa means he is the real God behind all indriyas. Kesa Nishudana is another addressing to another way of addressing Paramatma. Kesa means he is a Rakshasa by name Kesha, by name Kesi. Kesi means he is a Rakshasa and he was killed by Paramatma. So he is praising. Now, you are Kesi Nishudana, you are Hrishikesa. Kindly tell me what is the difference between sannyasam and tyagam. Tyagasya cha tattvam veditum ichchami. Veditum ichchami means I want to know the difference. Now, whenever the tyaga word comes, we have to see it is taken almost parallel to sannyasam. We have the mantra, na karmana prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatva manasuhu vedanta vijnana sunischitarda sanyasa yogat yataya suddha sattvaha. So, both are almost, this word sannyasam and tyagam are almost synonymous. That's how they are used. So, he wants to know what is the distinction between the tyagam and sannyasam. Tyagam has arrived from the word tyaz. Tyaz means to renounce. Both mean renounce, but there is a subtle difference. Prudak means I want to know them. I want to know the two words differently, distinctly. So this was the question posed by Arjuna. Now Paramatma is answering. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Yasam Sanyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha. So Kavayaha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sanyasam Viduhu Vichakshanaha cha sarva karma phalatyagam tyagam prahuhu. So some pandits, so they say by renouncing kamya karma, you are doing the tyagam. Some people, they say, if you renounce everything, all karmas, Not only kamya karmas, if you renounce all karmas, that is what we call tyagam. So there is a difference of opinion in Panditas. So we will see what is the difference, how these learned people differ in their opinion. First of all, there are 5 types of karmas. Vihita karmas. Vihita karmas means the karmas which were prescribed by Veda. Veda Vihita karmas. The karmas ordained by Vedam. Then kamya karmas. Kamya karmas means we have to see that sakama karma. So we have to see that putra kameshti. We see that putra kameshti is done for getting children. So this is out of some desire. If you take up an action with desire, a laukika desire, that is a mundane desire, then it is called a kamya karma. Nishiddha karma. Nishiddha karma means the action which is prohibited by Vedam. So you cannot do such actions, you cannot take up such actions like himsanna kuryat. So you should not take up violence. Violence is prohibited according to Shastra. So that karma is called Nishiddha karma. Then Prayaschitta karma or Parihara karma. So these are the actions which will reduce the intensity of prarabdham, or they sometimes ward off the prarabdham also, prarabdha karma, or mitigate the prarabdham. Durbala prarabdham, prabala prarabdham is there. So people, they suggest parihara karmas or prayaschitta karmas. So these are the karmas which are there in the Vedas, so that if you perform that karma, your prarabdha karma will be mitigated or totally avoided. So this is one type of karma. Then naimittika karma. Naimittika karma means when occasion comes, you do that karma, like Shraddha karmas and the naming ceremonies. Now Grihasthus will have all these type of karmas. So what are the karmas we mentioned? Vihita karma, the karmas ordained by Veda. Kamya karmas, the karmas which are performed for want of fulfilling the desires. Then Nishiddha karmas, the karmas which are prohibited by Veda. Then Prayaschitta karma, the karmas which will the intensity of prarabdha is reduced. Then Naimittika karma, the karmas which come occasionally, which occur occasionally. So here the sloka says, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam. Sanyasam means some opine that renouncing all the karmas with desire, laukika desire, mundane desires. So if you renounce all the karmas, including along with the kamya karmas, if you renounce the karmas, nishiddha karmas, kamya karmas and prayaschitta karmas, then it is called kamyanam karmanam sanyasam. So these are the karmas you are avoiding. You are avoiding 3 karmas out of 5, leaving vihita karmas and naimittika karmas. If you renounce, then it is called sannyasa. Then this is the opinion of some people. Whereas some other people, sarva karma phalatyagam. Sarva karma phalatyagam means kamya karmas, nishiddha karmas, prayaschitta karmas. Then you take up nitya naimittika karmas. That means the daily prayer of God, And occasionally you have some karmas like Sraddham and other karmas which come occasionally. If you are taking up that, leaving three karmas, that is Kama karmas, Nishiddha karmas, and Prayaschitta karmas, then you do that without expecting the karma phalam. If you do this, then it is called karma phala tyagam. That is called tyagam. The difference of sannyasam and tyagam is mentioning. You are retaining two karmas and leaving the three karmas. You are renouncing three karmas. But you are doing it for the benefit of the entire society. Loka sangraham, for the good of the entire society. If that is the attitude, then it is called tyagam. Sarva karma phala tyagam prahuhu tyagam. So renouncing the karma phalam is called tyagam. Kavayaha vichakshanaha viduhu. Here kavayaha means not kavi. They can be jnanis, panditas, vichakshanaha, those who can analyze analytically. So they think and they take up this. Sanyasam, kamya nishiddha prayaschitta karmas, they can renounce. Tyagam, nitya naimittika karmas, they can, nitya naimittika karma phala, they can renounce. Now, the third sloka we will see. Tyadyam dosha vadityeke karma prahurmanishinaha yajnadana tapak karma natyadyam niti chapare. Eke manishinaha karma doshavat asti tasmat tyadyam iti prahuhu. Aparecha yajnadana tapak karma natyadyam iti ahuhu. So there is a difference in the opinion. What is the difference in the opinion? Eke manishinaha prahuhu. Some people means not ordinary people, some vidvansa, some panditaha, some people who study Vedas with thorough knowledge. So they are called kavayaha. Here he simply used the word manishinaha. So eke manishinaha, some wise people. Karma tyadyam. So whatever be the karma, whether it is nimitta karma or nitya karma, so you don't distinguish like nitya naimittik karma, then kamya karma, nishiddha karma, parihara karma, like that you don't distinguish these karmas. You don't see the difference. When you are renouncing, you renounce all the karmas. That's what they opine. So, because any karma you take up, it is full of dosham. There are certain doshas in karmas. What are the doshas? They give you a lot of anxiety and they give you a kind of tension, pressure in the mind. So that kind of dosha is there in any karma. So better you just give up everything so that you can have a peaceful mind. And you can have the, meditation very peacefully when all karmas are renounced like a sannyasi. So Chidananda Rupa Sivoham Sivoham. So with that mind, you can be one with that God. You can have that nididhyasnam perfectly without any obstacle. So that's what some people feel. So you don't separate karmas as two groups. That is, one group is nitya karmas and naimittik karmas. The other group is kamya karmas, prayaschitta karmas and nishiddha karmas. And just leave that the second group, which is kamya karma, prayaschitta karma and parihara karma, and continuing nitya naimittik karmas. That is not the way. Because any karma you take up, it is having a dosham. What is that dosham? It will give you atruptikaratvam, then it will give you the dukkha misritatvam and bandhakatvam. So having this dosha, you are subject to the mental tension. You are subject to a kind of pressure. And therefore, any karma is having dosham. So you give up all karmas. That is one opinion. The other opinion is aparecha, the other people who are also wise. So all these opinions are from the wise people, not an ordinary person. The aparecha, the other people who are wise, they say that yajna dana tapak karma natyadyam iti chapare. So they say, apare means the other wise people, they pronounce, you have to continue yajnam, danam and tapas. That you should not renounce. This is the opinion of other people. That means you have to maintain pancha mahayajnas. Pancha mahayajnas are must. This is the opinion of other people. So keeping this in mind, you have to renounce only few karmas. That is kamya karmas and nishiddha karmas and parihara karmas or prayaschitta karmas. So this is what the people meant. Because these karmas which are having yajnam, danam and tapas, they are required for gruhastu. Gruhastu jnani, even though he is a jnani, he cannot leave these three things, yajnam, danam and tapas, he has to continue. This is what we understand. So this is the opinion of some wise people. So that means pancha mahayajnas, one must perform. So in the second opinion, it is understood one must continue nitya karmas and naimittika karmas. They have to perform pancha mahayajnas. That is daiva yajnam, pitru yajnam, rishi yajnam, bhuta yajnam and manusya yajnam. All five yajnas they have to continue. And they can leave kamya karmas, nishiddha karmas and the parihara karmas. This is the opinion of the other people. So in the 9th chapter we have seen, we got a suggestion from Paramatma. He said that Ananyas chintayanto mam yejanah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. If you take up your karmas, if you leave all your burdens onto me and do your action with ananya bhakti, then I will take care of you. I will see that your problems are solved by me. This is the promise given by Paramatma in the 9th chapter. So, being a gruhastha, you cannot afford to leave yajnam. That's what some wise people opine. So, there is a difference of opinion among the wise people. Well, what is the difference? Tyagam is nitya and naimittika karmas they have to perform, but they have to leave the expectation, the karma phala tyagam they have to do. They can renounce the karma phalas. They cannot have expectation. This is what we call tyagam. Karma phala tyagam they have to do. So the tyaga word refers to karma phalam. This is what we mean by tyagam. Then sannyasam. Regarding sannyasam, we see that there are three different opinions. What are the three different opinions? First opinion is kamya nishiddha prayaschitta karmas we have to renounce. Kamya nishiddha prayaschitta karmas we have to renounce. That means we have left out two karmas. What are the karmas we have left out? Nitya karma and naimittika karma. These things we have to continue. This is the first suggestion. This is the first meaning of sannyasam given by some wise people. Then the second opinion given by some other wise people. This group is different from the first. They say that all karmas must be renounced. You don't say that nitya naimittika karmas you have to perform and the other three you have to leave. Not like that. Sarva karma parityagam. So you have to renounce every karma. May it be nitya karma or naimitya karma, you have to leave all karmas. So, this is the opinion of some wise people regarding sannyasam. And then the third opinion is again by some wise people, apare, this is the word used in this sloka. Apare means some other wise people. They said that at any cost you cannot leave yajnam, dhanam and tapas. You have to continue until your last breath, these three things. This is the opinion of the wise people. So, some said you can leave three, that is kamya, nishiddha and parihara. Some said you have to leave all because they possess dosha. Any karma you take up, they possess dosha. Without dosha, there is no karma. The moment you take up karma, you have that attachment for the result. You always feel that you should reap the good result. So it will have dosha. It will create a tension in the mind. It will create a kind of unrest in the mind. You are kept in tenterhooks. So this dosha is there for any karma. Based on this dosham, these wise people, they decide not to take up any karma. If you have a peaceful mind, then it is very good for taking up nididhyasana. So don't take up any work. This is the opinion of some people. And then the third group, they said that you can leave anything, but there are three things which are exceptional. These three things you must continue to do. What are the three things? Yajnam, dhanam and tapas. These three things at any cost you should not leave. So this is the opinion. So you should know one thing very clearly. These opinions are not Krishna Paramatma's opinion. Paramatma is saying, some are saying like this, some are saying like this. Paramatma's opinion will come later. So he will give his opinion. But these are the widely popular opinions held by wise people. So this is the presentation of Paramatma. Regarding sannyasam and tyagam, there is no difference. Regarding sannyasam, you have to renounce all karmas or some karmas. This is sannyasam. There is a subtle difference in the opinion. But basically, if you understand, renouncing karmas is sannyasam. Tyagam, how it is different from sannyasa. The difference is, renouncing karma for a tyagam is called tyagam. You are doing action. When you are doing action, you reap some result without expecting karma phalam. Without expecting karma phalam means karma phalam may come in your favor or not in your favor. You should not brood if it is not in your favor. If it is in your favor, you should not float on air. So that is what we mean by without having any karma phala abhimana. Without having any attachment to the karma phala. If and only if I get the result, I will do it. This is the attitude for many people when they take up action. Come what may, I must get the result. This is the attitude. But in spirituality, this attitude is a curse. Because the karma phala is not in your hand. It is in the hand of karma phala data, Ishvara. He gives karma phala based on the punyam you have accrued. So the karma phala may be in your favor or it may not be in your favor. You are not the person who is deciding the karma phala. So with this background, we will see what Paramatma is going to give his opinion. We are only interested in Paramatma's opinion. So before giving his opinion, he gave what all other people opine on this sannyasam and tyagam. The entire chapter is triggered with the question of Arjuna, what is the difference between sannyasam and tyagam? Between sannyasam and tyagam, there is no a difference between the wise people. Tyagam is tyagam of karma phala. Sanyasa means renouncing karma phala. The difference is all karmas we have to renounce or only certain karmas we have to renounce. This is the idea. So with this, we have completed today's class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.